going to go talk to Nick Jonas right now. Nick, how are you, buddy? We got to get him through here. Zoom.
Doing well. How are you?
There we go. We got it.
Hey, what's up, Nick?
There he is. Nick Jonas. Where are you today?
I'm at home in LA. I'm rarely ever here, so it's nice to be back for a minute.
When you're rarely ever there, is it because you guys are doing shows right now and you just happen to be home?
Yeah, we just got finished up with 3 nights out at MSG in New York, and we're actually off to Melbourne, Australia in a few days to go play the halftime show at the 49ers Rams game, the first ever
Nice. That's dope.
regular season game in Australia, and it's going to be on Netflix, so that'll be fun.
Whenever you do a halftime show or anything that's quick like that, it could even be like a late night television show. Is that a whole lot of get everything ready? Okay, ready, go. And it just feels like it's on and then off so quick?
It happens real fast. Yeah, I can't say the exact length of the performance. I don't want to ruin any surprises. But in the grand scheme of things, when it takes however long it takes to get to Australia, naturally the sprint to that performance, it feels like an instant. But listen, it's 2 great teams. It's going to be an amazing way to kick off the football season, which I'm very excited about, and I'm looking forward to it.
Just so you know, we're only on television right now. We're about to go back over to TV and radio in a second. So if I do this awkward thing where it acts like we're starting over again, that's what it is. So just so you know, it's going to be totally weird. I'll be like, we got Nick Jonas here. It's because a whole new audience is coming in. Okay,
No.
good. You have Yankees hat on. Yankee fan?
Yankee fan, yeah. Grew up in New Jersey, Bergen County, in one of the many golden eras of the Yankees. But obviously, growing up watching Jeter and that early 2000 squad with A-Rod, Posada, Mussina, Hideki Matsui, we had some major ballers, and so it was pretty fun to become a fan. But then when Coach Torre went out to LA, it was around the same time that me and my family moved out here as well. So I've got a lot of love for the Dodgers, and it's been fun to be a fan of theirs now for a while, and I've gotten to know Coach over there too, Coach Robertson. He's just been great.
You meet Jeter?
Met Jeter, I think one time. I was out at dinner, and we had a mutual friend. He introduced us, and I was a little starstruck. Why? How could you not be?
Even you were starstruck.
Even me. I mean, it's a different thing. I think it's always that thing where actors, musicians want to be athletes and vice versa. Watching those guys do what they did. I was actually remembering being on tour in 2009. We were in Europe, and it was when they made that run in that fall season. And the only way I could watch the games if I stayed up till, I think 3 or 4 in the morning. And so me and a few other guys from the tour who were big Yankees fans all stayed up and basically slept till it was showtime each night at 7 or 8 p.m. No way to live life on the road, but we were committed.
We have Nick Jonas on with us. I'm going to let you two decide who wants to ask him about the Christmas movie, because they love the Christmas movie.
That would be me.
Chris, you want to go?
Oh, man.
Okay.
Nick, huge fan. Love the Christmas movie. Are we getting a sequel?
We had a lot of fun with the Christmas movie. We teamed back up with our friends over at Disney, and it was just a ball. We've always dreamt of doing a Christmas film, and it wasn't until we sat down with the team over at Disney back in 2019 and resurrected a bunch of ideas that we had started back in our first, couple of years working with Disney back in the day. And they put a great team around it and came to us with a great creative. And as dads now, all of us are dads. I think creating experiences for families to share together that are just fun, don't take themselves too seriously, and create that feeling of togetherness during the holiday season is what it's all about. So as far as the sequel goes, I'm not entirely sure. Anything could happen. We did just produce and do a little cameo in our second project with Disney since kind of coming back to them, which is Camp Rock 3, which came out about a week and a half ago. The response has been incredible, and we're down for whatever they want to throw at us.
Yeah, super fun. Immediately enters the rotation on the holiday season. So congrats on that, and looking forward to it.
Appreciate that.
We were talking about being dads a minute ago. I have a 5-month-old baby, first baby for me. Yours 4 or 5, around that age, right?
4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have you learned about you? Because I'm going through this now. What have you learned about you since having a kid?
Well, I think that the main thing I've learned about myself through having a kid is just there's that first couple of years where you really realize how quickly we fall into certain patterns and start to see the world certain ways, and when you have to explain why glass is clear, for instance, it kind of opens your mind up beyond just being quick on your feet and coming up with answers that make sense. You're also helping shape their worldview and who they become, and what's important to them and how they treat others and all these things that we know we're stepping into as parents, but until you're in it in real time and these little moments matter as much as they do, I think you just have to sort of lock in, and it also makes you see the world in new and exciting ways, and with the same wonder that their little minds are seeing it for the first time.
So you've obviously done music, you've acted in movies and television, but you've also done Broadway. Like, what's the difference for you as a performer when you're on Broadway?
Well, I mean, for me, I think it's the closest thing to being an athlete. I really admire Broadway performers, and I've done a bunch of shows now, and love tapping back into it. But those that do it, day in day out for a year or more, it's 8 shows a week, 6 days a week. So it's really, I think, the most physically taxing kind of version of performing you can do. I mean, it's a grind, and it is something that I think um, is reserved for the strong at heart and a strong mind. So I hats off to those that are the performing on Broadway at the moment, or Broadway performers as a whole. It's really an impressive thing, and I love doing it, and getting to express myself in that way through acting, dancing, singing, all on one stage, and always look forward to my return to Broadway someday.
We have Nick Jonas on with us, who is joining us on behalf of DraftKings and starring in the new DraftKings new campaign, Take Your Game Anywhere. You have a favorite NFL team?
Well, as I mentioned, we grew up in Jersey, and been lifelong Giants fans, and really looking forward to this season. Coach Harbaugh, and Jackson Dart and Scattaboo. Scotty actually came out to a show, which was awesome, and got to meet him. And he and my oldest brother Kevin and Jackson Dart were, I guess, at Game 4 of the Knicks series in the finals, which was pretty epic game to be at. Um, some New Jersey slash New York royalty all in the box together, watching the Knicks, you know, take their journey to destiny.
I may have you dig back for a second. When you think about people that come to your shows, and you mentioned people there that you're obviously fans of, who's come to your show that you thought, this is crazy, they're even here at this show, they wanted to watch us perform?
Well, there's been a few. There's been a few over time. Some legends that have come out, and kind of blown our minds and our parents' minds that they showed up. But Barry Gibb came to a few shows with his family, which was pretty special, and he spent a lot of time with our band and with us, just talking. And same thing with Paul Simon. That was pretty amazing, and obviously people we have an immense amount of respect for and look up to. And then over time, some sports legends as well that came out to shows, and as a Giants fan, when Eli came out with his family to a show we did out in Jersey, and actually announced to the crowd that we were being inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. That was a special moment for us. And no bigger icon in our minds than the two-time Super Bowl MVP.
I'm going to ask you a music question, and I live most of my life in the music space. I only come over here and flirt in sports, but musically, I'll talk to people about artists who, if they were born today and they made the same exact music, that music would still be relevant today. And the couple that I put on the list would be Biggie, for sure, because he just sounded so different.
Oh.
And then also Led Zeppelin, because I think what they did, their style, sonically, who comes to mind that if you take their music from whenever, or they're born today doing the same thing, that it would still be so relevant today?
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot that would be, I think, it's just a matter of what kind of music you're into, I guess. But I would say Tupac for sure would have been one. Janis Joplin. Um, there's so many that we've lost that I feel if they were here today, we'd still be rocking out at a Coachella set for sure.
You still enjoy the shows, like going and because you guys are crushing it again, playing these massive shows. Is it fun again?
It is. It's even more fun now. We just finished up 3 nights at MSG, and we kick off the tour September 25th up in Boston. Um, I love it. We love playing for our fans. Our fan base has changed a lot over time. Looking out and seeing that multi-generational effect. People that used to come to shows with their parents who now have kids of their own that they want to come with. But the parents who are now grandparents still want to come. It's such a rare thing to have that that kind of love throughout those generations, and to see that this music that we wrote, when we were younger, and then the music that we're writing today, still really connects, means the world to us, and we can't wait to get back out there and see our fans here in the fall.
TJ?
Hey, what's up, Nick? Rich Eisen Show got its start with DirecTV's Audience Network. I know you were also a very big part of my favorite show that Audience ever did, which was called Kingdom. You played an MMA fighter, which kind of puts you in a different light than people were used to seeing you put in. Let's talk about Kingdom, man. What are your memories of that show?
I love doing that show. It was a kind of a strange time. It was really right before streaming really took off.
Yeah.
And it was on, as you mentioned, the Audience Network. And it was just a great show about, a family of MMA fighters and their dysfunction and their inability to say that they cared about each other, which is probably the flaw in all of them. And I just, getting to take on that character was super complex, and as you said, showed me in a different light, was a challenge I really needed at that point in my life and career. And I hear from people all the time that they love that show, and I think over time more and more people will discover it through different channels and different things, and hopefully one day it ends up back on Netflix or somewhere else. But yeah, I'm glad you called that out. I loved doing the show and have love for the fan base of the show.
Do you think your perception, or did you see the way your perception was changed by people? Because, people think boy band member, they think one thing, but you're playing Nate, Kalina, and you're a badass MMA fighter. What was the noise around you? How did it change after Kingdom?
Well, when I first got the script for Kingdom, I recall telling my agents that I wanted to read for it, and they reached out to the casting folks and the producers, and they said that they didn't want to see a Jonas brother for the role. And that just made me all the more determined to kind of, push that wall down and just get in the room and fight for it. And, now I'm very close with the guy who created the show, Byron Belasco.
Yeah.
And we have another movie that we have in development together, and we went from, that to developing other projects together and doubling, tripling down. And it's just cool to see how life can happen that way. And that experience, that journey was really important to my growth as an actor, but also as a person.
You crushed it, bro. You really did.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
Nick,
Appreciate that.
really appreciate it. And congratulations on the campaign with DraftKings and the new campaign, Take Your Game Anywhere. Yeah, I hope you have a good trip over to Australia and drink a lot of water. That's my only advice, since you've never flown before. Yeah, that's my only advice. There he is, Nick Jones.
All right, Nick.
Thank you, guys.
All right.